Appreciate it.
Mhm.
All right. You ready for me?
We're ready for you. So welcome,
All
Kim.
righty. Well, first of
Welcome,
all,
welcome.
thank you. Thank you for having me. My second alarm just went off at 8 o'clock. So it's all good. But I just want to thank you all for having me. I want to thank Zena for having me. We have had a couple of really good conversations. It has been an eventful already 2026 for me. So everything that you all are talking about, I can relate to. I think, and anyone in this journey, first of all, anyone in the journey of life can relate to everything that, you guys were talking about, especially with Stacy, the point that you were bringing up. I'm not going to get into all the details or whatever, but it's definitely, you know, AI is already fast moving in itself, right? And then we get so involved in it, and understand and know the possibilities. And we're trying to keep up with it because we're so excited about everything we can do. But then there's something else called life that's happening on the sideline there. And, you just do your best. And I think community is what helps keep people going, and especially a community of people who look like you, is so, so, so important because there are so few of us. When you go into these spaces, there's so few of us that do look like us and can relate to what we go through. I'll give you one really good example of that, and then I'll kind of backtrack. I recently spoke at DePaul University. They're going into their second year of their film department having an AI, a day of AI. And I was really honored because there was another sister there who was over AI development, I believe. It's like some AI department with Amazon. And so I was really happy to see her. You know how it is when you walk in the room and it's only like two or three of you all there and you kind of lock eyes and you're like, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. All right. I got you. It's one of those types of things. And it was really great. But what I want to say is this. So I was there and this kind of relates to ethics in a way because the ethics conversation for me, and I'm pretty sure for all of you all, and you can relate to this, is a little different. Of course, you have the environmental ethics conversation and you have the ethical use of images and film and all of that. But I was there and the students at DePaul some of the students were in the audience, but it was an open to the public event. And um, I was in line getting lunch, and I think I told Zena about this. And some of the students who are working AV were behind me. None of them were students of color. None of the student, maybe there may have been maybe one student of color who was working AV. And they were behind me and they hated that they were there at this AI event, which was very interesting, to hear them as students who are about to embark on a world that is getting ready to change into mostly entrepreneurial careers here, to say that they were very anti AI. And I didn't say anything. I was just ear hustling, whatever. And I was one in particular who I think she was talking loud enough because she wanted me to hear her and respond to her. And I didn't do that. When I got my panel was right after lunch. When I got on the panel, I said, I understand that there are ethical concerns. I understand that there are environmental concerns about AI, about jobs being lost, and all of the things I've mentioned, everything the one behind me talked about on the panel. And then I said, but you know what? For me, AI has been, it's a conversation of inclusion because in a film situation, I don't have a film background. I have a creative background. I have a marketing background, but I'm also a storyteller and I'm also very creative. And I don't have a budget to make a movie and I don't have that background, but this has given me the ability to tell the stories that I want to hear. It's given me the ability to tell the stories that others don't want to show, are not interested in, and do not have, um, the budgets to do. And for a lot of people of color, that means the world. I don't want to see, you know, I don't want to see reality TV anymore. I've been there, done that. It was cool. I'm over that now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see the movies that I'm seeing that represent or supposed to represent me. I have stories. My mother was probably one of the best storytellers out there, and I've never heard some of the stories that she's told me. I haven't seen them on television, So for me, this is a different conversation when it comes to ethics. And I didn't say this on the I didn't say this on the panel, but the talk about, and it's so interesting that one young lady did get up and she went to the mic and she said, "Okay, okay, okay. I understand the inclusion thing." But and this is a young lady who was not of color. I understand the inclusion thing, but what about the jobs that are being lost in the environment and da 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 and all that? She's going in and all that. And in my mind, the one of my panelists, he answered the question very well. White gentleman, he did really good. He pacified her, whatever. In my mind, I'm saying to myself, well, 400,000 Black women lost their jobs anyway this year. Okay. And it had nothing to do with AI. So we're going to lose our jobs first anyway. So, yeah,
Facts, facts, facts.
I'm ethically concerned about the environment and I will, do what I can and I will speak up about other things. But I am also going to utilize this tool because if I don't, then that means that we're going to be excluded completely from the conversation. So for me, ethics is a little bit different, a whole lot different. And so that's where I stand when it comes to ethics, and this conversation. I am also on another shifting it a little bit. I am also, I don't, let me ask this question. Of all that we have here, how many of you are involved with, I saw where Desmond said he had been generating some images and dropping them on TikTok. I have something I want to say about that. But doing image and video film generation, are there any others here that are kind of immersed in that a bit? Let me, I like to,
I actually plan to start doing that. So I'm
okay,
loving you speak on this. So
Yeah.
yes,
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
I haven't
to
done
tell my
video,
story
definitely.
through my content, to tell my story.
okay.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
have, and I'll remind me to tell you guys about it. I have a 2-day event coming up next week where I'm doing a 2-day intensive on AI film, on creating with AI film and images. So, okay, so some of you are beginning the journey and images, interested but haven't jumped in. Okay, cool. So, um, let me back up and say how I got started. And then I'll actually show you guys the film that they're going to be showing at ABFF. I don't mind doing that. And it's like 6 minutes long. So, um, I got started with this. So my background is in marketing. I went to Columbia College in Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago. And then I went straight from Columbia to Northwestern University and I got my master's in marketing. Since then, that was a while ago. I know I look like I'm 22, but that was like in the 90s. Okay. And so, since then, I've been on the entrepreneur path. I am a licensed Illinois real estate managing broker. And I do not manage agents anymore, but I started with AI because as a marketer and an entrepreneur, I'm always looking for the latest and the greatest of everything. And so I started using AI to market myself, to show my agents how to market themselves, and then creatively. And I wasn't really into the old image thing, but this was back in 2021, 22. And I started working with the images just as a hobby, as something cool. And my first images that I created, I'm an art collector, so I do collect Black art. And I wanted to do, I don't do any, look, I'm an arrogant art collector. Okay. So I don't have any prints I have all originals in my house. And I like to go to estate sales and I like to try to, get some art, that adrenaline rush of finding something that nobody else realizes is valuable. That I love that. And so I started creating just images where they were more like art oriented, But then I started remembering, no, well, I remember I had the privilege of being a 70s child, which was, I think, is just the golden because I had my great grandparents who were living. I had, phenomenal stories that dated back, people who were actually there, back to the late 1800s, all up and, during my life. And so I started creating images of what I imagine were my relatives, but in a futuristic retro type world. And all of this came from that kid who was a sci-fi junkie, but didn't see herself in any of the sci-fi other than Lieutenant Uhura. And matter of fact, didn't see too many heroes at all on television. My biggest heroes were Lieutenant Uhura, Christy Love, and I don't know who else because it wasn't too many, right? And the Brown Hornet on the Cosby Show. I mean, not on the Fat Albert on Fat Albert. And so I make a long story short, my style is Afrofuturistic, retro Afrofuturistic, which is a little different, which people don't see. And so if any of you all are following me on Instagram, or Instagram is primarily where I post a lot of my stuff. Um, and I do post sometimes on LinkedIn. I more so network on LinkedIn, but I do sometimes post some of my stuff on LinkedIn because I think that sometimes my stuff is a little too radical for LinkedIn. And so that is my style. People come and they look at it and they're like, what is this? You know, and I love that because again, that goes back to what I was saying. I haven't seen the stories that I see in my brain, and I know a lot of you haven't. And so that is my niche, is the retro Afrofuturism, where you really don't know what time period it is. You just know it's different. And I am into world building, which means that I am building a whole world that has consistency. That so think of Star Trek and the Star Trek world. There are certain principles of that Star Trek world that you just know will carry over into any other Star Trek movie that you look at. That's what world building is. Um, and so that's what I do. I have So what I wanted to say to Desmond, he said he's just putting stuff out there and see what will happen. That's how I got some of the biggest commissions that I have gotten to this day. Since then, let me hurry up and fast forward here. So I've just been putting my stuff out there. I've just been, it's blackety black. And I've been putting it out there and just seeing who, just putting it out there, really, to be honest. And I was getting some people that were like, "Oh, I like this, oh, could you do something for me?" Or, whatever. And, it was, we'll see, we'll see. And then I put something out there again because it's blackety black. I put something out there on TikTok. I think it was TikTok or it may have been Instagram. And Lalah Hathaway commented on it. Now, I didn't tag her or anything. It just hit her algorithm because guess what? She's also blackety black, right? And she reached out. I mean, she commented and she said, "This is beautiful. I love this." And I was just like, "What?" Because I've been, following Layla since the 90s, right? And she's from Chicago. And so, and I love Donny Hathaway. And so, she came out with an album, and again, this is just the algorithm. I didn't have a million followers. I had never gone viral. I was just staying true to who I am and putting things out there and tagging keywords in my comments. I mean, in my thing, the caption, and putting the right hashtag. So because at that point, hashtags mattered at that point. Um, and she found me. And so I then she came out with an album, and there were two songs on the album that just really moved me. I am very moved by music when it comes to what I create. That's why a lot of times my people don't even talk in my videos, because I have figured out a way to show the emotion and to show pain and to show power and to show everything without them even talking or them being naked or them being revealing. I've been able to show, sensuality and sexiness without a breast hanging out, and all of that. And it's just been really cool. And so after that, I did two videos to two songs on her album, and I tagged her, not because I was looking to do anything, but just because I was like, hey, this is what I see when I hear your song. And one in particular, she commented and she said, we may have to do this for real. And I was like, all right, cool. And I mean, like a day later, she's sending me a message, a private message, and I'm thinking, I'm being catfished. This ain't no Lalah Hathaway. This is somebody else. And sure enough, her management, she send me your phone number. My manager's gonna get in contact with you. I need you to do a video for me. And it just went from there. I ended up doing three videos for her for that album. Um, and one of them was nominated for a Webby. We didn't win, but it's okay because that was a win, to be honest. That was a win. And it was and here's the thing about it. Just when I questioned Kim, and I'm gonna tell you why I question this. I have a producer, another sister who has reached out, and she's sort of like mentoring me, and she's out in LA. And she was like, that don't worry about it. You're gonna make some money, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that because what you're doing is whatever. And she said, but and I don't want you to change because of this. But she said, every time I show your stuff to some of these people out here, they're like, oh, it's awesome. But they want to say, but it's black, you know. And, she said to me, she said, now you have a choice, you have a decision. You can start really, creating some mixed stuff and some mainstream stuff and mixing it in with what you're doing. Um, or you can continue down the path that you want to go down, which is fine, but just know that, that is a challenge, because Hollywood and LA and all them, they don't know still after what, 400 years, they still don't know or think or value or want to market, in that way. And the video that went up for the Webby, ironically, was black. The song is called Black, and it's a blackety black video. It really is. And I was talking to someone the other day, and I just said, you know what? The hell with it. I'm just gonna stick with black, because I don't want to do the other stuff. Can I do it? Yes. Would it be great? Yes. Would it look better than some of this other stuff out here? Yes, it would. If I get that commission to do it, will I do it? Yes. I just met with a gentleman yesterday, really nice guy, and white guy, and he wants me to do some stuff for him. Will I do it? Yes, because I'm interested in his topic. I'm interested in what he's doing. He's trying to bring awareness to female. He he collects posters from the silent era, and there's a big community of women that don't get the recognition. So he showed me this beautiful collection of this Asian actress that I knew nothing about. He has African Americans. His collection consists of Asian Americans, women, all women, black women, and he has everything in categories. And of course, he has blackface category, which I wasn't offended about. And I said to him, I said, that's very interesting because I have a poster in my basement, an original poster. I'm a very huge proponent of its history, and we can't ignore that this stuff happened. And so, again, this is so much all over the place as far as ethics is concerned. And I just had so much, that I could touch on. But that's been my journey. And I'm open to questions. I would love to show you all the film. You'll see when you see it is blackety black. And it was a little I submitted it to a few film festivals, and it's been interesting, the film festivals that have selected it, and you'll see why, and those that have not. So, um, anyway, I'll stop talking because I can go on and on and on and on and on. Okay. So, what would you all like to know from me?
Oh, I just got to jump in and say, I've been following you since I've joined AI in the culture. I love everything you do. Keep it blackety black. Love it. Put it on LinkedIn. I don't really even care. I'm like, wherever Kimberly goes, I'm going to be there following her. And I hope the next time you do the AI festival, I can actually come out there.
Oh, I am doing a Black AI Film Festival. So let me just say this. So I got real quick, I'm going to share this. I went on ChatGPT. I wasn't on Claude yet. This was like a year ago. I went on
Mhm.
ChatGPT and I said to ChatGPT, just for the heck of it, I said, here's my brand, Playground Pastime, and give me every step I need to be a world known brand in the next 6 months. I don't have a budget, I don't have any money. Just give me all the steps I need to be a brand, a mega brand in the next 6 months. It gave me all these different steps. And one of the ones it gave me that was really, really seemed tiny, but it was really valuable was it told me to buy up all the digital real estate around my brand. And so I bought up chicagoaifilmfest.com,
Yep. Yep.
.ai,
Yep.
whatever. And then I went on there and I was like, oh, Black AI Film Festival. I bought up all the Black AI Film Fests and all of that. And here's the thing, I couldn't get, somebody had blackaifilmfest.com. And I was so mad about that. And so up until what was it? Earlier this week, nobody's whoever had it let it go, and um, nobody picked it up. I was like, "Oh, I got it!" So now I got that one. So,
Love
so
it.
buy up all the digital real
Yeah,
estate that you
tell.
can,
Yep.
because that is
Hmm.
truly,
Yep.
truly valuable.
Yep.
And so I have the Black AI Film Fest that will be happening on Juneteenth, on June 19th, and it's going to be all online. I'm doing that one a little bit differently because I do realize the challenges and the limitations with sometimes with AI film and African American people because we don't get into it that much. Um,
Mhm.
and so I'll make sure, Zena, that you have the information so that you can share it with everybody. Um, so with that, it's 8:55, and I don't want to go over too much. I'll show you guys my film, and you know, if need be, I can stick around and answer any questions that anybody may have. Do I have the ability to share? Yep, I do. Awesome.
Yeah. And hopefully you grabbed all the social handles to match.
I did.
Good.
Yep, I did. Okay, let's see here. All right, let me do this. Let me know if you guys can hear. Can you hear?
No. Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there sound, Kimberly? Because I can't hear the sound if there is sound.
hear sound.
So come down, wind don't make it sound. Ain't no rise on the road, sending you folks around. On and out, shadows on the ground. They don't speak in ways.
They didn't come with trumpets. They just were.
And in the region,
like a kind of weather we learn to read. Miss Maddie swears their little lamps sweeten the well water.
I'm telling you, that water ain't never tasted like this.
Uncle Moses says their shadows cool a field faster than the clouds. At noon, you keep your eyes on your work. You mind the hum like you mind a hymn. Since they been here, ain't seen no white riders come down this road. Folks say the visitors keep more than the fields say. Some down line call them devils. But devils don't fix windmills or mend wrists in the night. Thing is, they've been getting closer. Every morning, it waits on me, like a shadow that don't belong in the sun. I don't fear them. I think they hear me. I know they see me.
Why are you following me? Where do you come from? Do you get lonely up there? They don't trust you, but I seen what you done for us.
I wish they wasn't so scared.
I just don't get it. Everyone is acting like that thing is normal.
Well, whatever it is, they haven't done me no harm, that's for sure.
I don't know, Liza. Something just don't seem right.
Everywhere I go, they talking about you. At school.
My mama says they ain't right. My daddy said he don't trust them as far as he can throw them.
Y'all come on in now. It's time for your lesson.
At church.
Brothers and sisters, I tell you, beware of false prophets and signs in the sky. Not all that shines is holy. No, 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 no. Not all that shines is holy.
Amen.
Amen.
Even at the dinner table.
A wolf in sheep clothing. That's what it is.
Then why shade us from the sun? Why sweeten our water?
Grown folk don't agree. Some say angel, some say devil.
what do you want from us? This here's our land. We got every right to be here and we ain't leaving. You don't scare me none. We've been riding these roads long before you showed up. Come on then. You think you can chase us off? We don't bow to nothing from the sky.
For me, I see kinfolk. Somebody who knows our hurt, who knows what it is to be chased, and still keeps the riders away. Every mark I drew, every time they answered back with their life, it was like they were teaching me something. They were teaching me something I wasn't meant to know.
And in the region, yeah, know the ground.
They're us.
Son, all right, let me step it on this lane.
And so that's that.
So
That
that's the one that was nominated.
that is the one that's going to be shown at ABFF at the Black Film Festival.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one that's going to be shown there. I've submitted that to other film festivals. Sometimes they show it, sometimes they don't want to show it. It depends on the demographic. And so that's my perspective on things. It's a story. The B side for me, I'll say this and then I'll be done. The B side is my retro-Afrofuturistic Twilight Zone. And there's a whole world where everything ties in. Some of those characters from there are in other films that I've done, and it explains why these people were there and what happened and and all that other stuff. And so I've never seen anything like that. And I don't know if anybody else has either. But that's me. That's what I do. And yeah, that's it.
It's beautiful and powerful.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
cool. Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you.
Tell us more about the AI masterclass that you're doing.
Okay. I'll put the link in the comment. Let me get the link real quick. So I am doing a 2-day intensive. I used to do a 6-week intensive, but by the time I got to the 6-week, AI has changed and my workflow has changed. And so I can't keep up. And then I end up having to do a follow-up class. And then my people think, oh, she's just trying to get money. And it's not that. It's just that I'm really just trying to keep everybody up to date. And so, hold on, let me get this real quick. And so yeah, it's a 2-day intensive, and it is going to be recorded for those who are saying, well, yeah, I can come for a little bit, but I can't stay for long, or I can't come the second day, or whatever. And here is the 2-day intensive. Now, listen, I'm going from start to finish in terms of teaching, from creating the images, because I do what's called text to image, and image to video, where I create individual images and then I'm animating each of those individual images as opposed to just typing in a prompt and getting a film, and I'm starting there. Then on the first day, it's going to be imagery and film, and how to create, animate them, and how to take it from different perspectives, how to get that constant, that constant character, how to do all of that. And then the second day is editing, and then voiceovers, music, all of that, and pulling all that together. Each day is 4 hours. It's a lot. I give a lot of resources. I have a community. I have a school community. I have some people in my community who they just started creating films last year, and they are creating some really beautiful work and actually getting commissioned to do work. And so, yeah, that's it.
Quick question. What's the experience level? Beginners, like if you don't see yourself as an artist, like who's your target audience?
So I do welcome beginners. However, what I do say is that you should have a little bit of experience in terms of understanding what tools are out there, and maybe even have tried out the tools a little bit. Certainly not, I would say, and this is no offense, not the person who is like, okay, I don't even know what AI, and that's not this group. I never
Right.
even dealt with AI, and
Right.
I've had
Right.
some of those, and I've had a couple of people who've gotten in my class who've never even dealt with AI, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna pull out, and I'm okay with that. But again, if you've had a little bit of experience of, number one, you have to know how to prompt. That's number one. Number two, at least some familiarity with some of the tools that are out there. You don't have to be, a subscription to all of them. But there are a few that you do, should get familiar with, that I do give some recommendations as far as what, you can use. So I don't know if that helped. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much. I know we're over time, and this has been phenomenal, an awesome way to end our week. So I just want to thank you so much, and you are welcome. I hope I speak for the group to come back to our group anytime
Absolutely.
you want a safe space. So you're always welcome here.
I would
So
love to. Send me the invite.
okay, we'll do. We'll do.
And let me know when you do. I'm at a retreat that weekend, so when you do it again.
I will. I will.
Sounds good.
All right. Much
Nice
love to
to meet you
everybody. Good
all.
to see you all. All right, take care. Bye.